Good evening and welcome to All in a Week Sports. I'm sports editor Scott Kinberg from the Post-Journal, and my colleagues to my left, Matt Spielman, and to my right, Cody Crandall. And guys, it seemed like just a week or two ago we were saluting and congratulating our all-stars from our spring sports, and here we are a couple days away from the start of high school football season. A special season. We just got done putting our Gridiron magazine together, which will be coming out on Thursday, and we're excited about that. I guess, Cody, I'll start with you since you were the one who started or did most of the legwork for the previews. What caught your eye the most, in your conversations with coaches? What do you look forward to as we look ahead in the next couple months?
Well, one of the many things that caught my eye talking to coaches about this upcoming season is the profound amount of talent that we have in this area. There's several All-State returners coming back this year from multiple teams around Chautauqua and Cattaraugus counties. I'll start with Cordell O'Brien, the senior wide receiver for Frewsburg. He was a first-team All-State selection in Class D last year. He had 47 receptions, over 1,000 yards, and 7 touchdowns, so I'm looking forward to seeing him and the Bears in action this season.
Matt, what do you?
I think you just remember the changes from last year, and you remember there's an epic Bennett Maple Grove Chautauqua Lake game at the stadium, and in those teams there's a lot of changes. Bennett's added some schools and moved up to A. Maple Grove Chautauqua Lake have split now, and Maple Grove's back at D, which may be tougher sledding than it would be at C or D this year. So I'll have to wait and see, but there's a lot of changes, a lot of guys back, and a lot of guys gone.
Class D, you can make the argument, maybe the toughest classification in all of the state, regardless, in all the classes. You look at from top to bottom, all 8 of those teams are loaded for the most part, and any one of them could stake a claim to maybe playing at New Era Field early November. They're that strong. I think most coaches will say that they probably, any other classification, they might have a shot to win a league title, but it's going to be a battle among all 8 of them.
And I think when you talk about Class D, you have to start with Maple Grove. They have 2 returning All-State players from this previous season. Running back Brad Benson ran for over 1,000 yards last year, found the end zone 16 times, and arguably played his best game of the season when it mattered most in that sectional final against Bennett, where he rushed for 129 yards on 23 carries and scored 3 touchdowns to help lead Maple Grove, Chautauqua Lake to that overtime win against Bennett, like you talked about, Matt. And then they also have Trevor Moisick coming back, who was an absolute stud at the linebacker position, had over 160 tackles, 34 for a loss, and he also ran for over 400 yards and caught 2 touchdowns offensively. So Kurt Fisher said that he's one of the most intense players he's ever had the pleasure of coaching. He's had a long list.
Absolutely. He's been doing it for well over 20 years, and he's had some dynamite players, and for Trevor to be included in that conversation right up there at the top, that's the ultimate compliment. And there's a couple more kids who are all-state returnees this year. There's Jeremy Bush from Jamestown High School, senior, who I wrote about last week. He only benches 460 pounds, shattering the previous mark of 400 pounds sent by Sean Bowman, a Red Raider back in the late 80s, who was an all-state player. Jeremy is just a stud on both lines and was a 4-team All-State defensive lineman last year. Also among the All-State returnees, a very talented running back from Gowanda, Cameron Alexander. He was a 2nd-team selection, and Gowanda should be very tough. They open their season at Southwestern on Friday night, and I know J.U. Culquick, the Southwestern coach, is looking forward to an opportunity to avenge last season's, I believe it was a shutout loss at Gowanda, 35-0. But Southwestern has done a nice job in the preseason. I know Jay was very excited about the opportunity to kind of turn things around against Gowanda on Friday. And the final All-State returnee is from the North County, Noah Raddick, who's a quarterback at Silver Creek Forestville. I haven't seen him play personally, but from Sean Helmer's comments in the Gridiron, he looks forward to another big season from Noah.
They're moving down to Class D as well, so that's just another team that can make things happen. In Class D too, which shows how loaded that class really is.
Okay. Why don't we take a little break, and we'll